and welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. Today we'll be covering the official Handbook of the Marvel Universe Deluxe Edition, number 8. We've reached number 8 in our journey through this series, and it covers Magus to Mole Man. We take a look at our lovely double-sized cover by John Byrne, and we see some of the many luminaries who are covered in this volume. Most notable, I would say, Mr. Fantastic, Marvel Girl, and Medusa, but we've got a few other cool ones too. On our inside front cover, we have our credits. I'll just name the principals. Mark Grunwald, writer-producer. Peter Sanderson, writer-researcher. Elliot Brown, technical illustrator. Joseph Rubinstein, inker-embellisher. And then we have Andy Janschust, colorist, along with a host of other folks who've contributed. On the inside front cover, the front piece, if you will, we have a data corrections column by writer-editor Mark Grunwald, basically going through and fixing some of the errors that they've already made in the first 7 volumes. Of course, it's no endeavor like this is going to be perfect. And we start out with the Magus, who is Warlock, the New Mutants member's techno-organic being, his father. And this is by the great Bill Sienkiewicz in his inimitable style. Very cool. We have Makkari, the Eternal, another of those great earthbound Eternals. And like all Eternals, he possesses a host of superhuman powers. Makkari possesses superhuman strength and can lift press around 50 tons without also employing his mental power to levitate the object he is lifting. So he's actually, I believe, stronger than Icarus, who we covered in a previous issue, I think, who could lift 40 tons. So he's pretty powerful. Additionally, he is regarded as the fastest of the Earth Eternals. He can fly at speeds of over Mach 3, roughly 1,550 miles per hour. And he's immortal and has a host of other abilities, some minor energy manipulation, things like that. So pretty cool. Great Keith Pollard artwork here. And we get some nice mix. We get a nice mix of Kirby, Sal Buscema, and Keith Pollard. Action panels. Carl Malice. This is one of the cool sort of evil support scientists that exist in the Marvel Universe. The Tinkerer is another one who comes to mind. But Carl Malice is the guy who actually changed Eric Jostin from a washed-out Power Man into Goliath/Atlas. So he's sort of a prominent and menacing background figure in the DC universe. Really cool. Group affiliation, employee of Power Broker Incorporated. Yeah, so he was also the guy behind the Unlimited Wrestling League's super strong combatants. And that's drawn by Mike Harris. Then we have a 2-page entry of the Man-Ape, M'Baku, the Man-Ape. He is 7 feet, 350 pounds. The Man-Ape possesses superhuman strength, enabling him to lift press approximately 10 tons under optimal conditions. The Man-Ape's primary power is his strength. He also has superhuman endurance, agility, and resistance to injury, and he's the main rival of Black Panther T'Challa. And we've got just a dynamite Mandarin entry here. I love this artwork. I wonder if that's Paul Smith. Let's take a look here. Oh, no, it's Jerry Ordway. Really nice piece by Jerry Ordway. Very cool. Yeah, Mandarin, great Iron Man villain. And we get this awesome technical drawing here by Elliot Brown. Just really cool of the Mandarin's 10 rings and everything they can do. I'll just read a couple of them randomly. Let's see, from the left hand, on his little finger, it's an ice blast ring. The ring emits waves of cold, which can be used to stun an opponent. The ring usually causes the air in the path of its blast to turn to ice and can lower an object's temperature to nearly absolute zero. Okay, on the right hand, let's read the middle finger. Vortex beam. The ring causes the air to move about at high speed in a vortex. The vortex can be used as an offensive weapon, as a means of levitating objects, or as a means of propelling the ring's wearer through the air. Very cool stuff. The mandrill, cool sort of like lower tier villain. This is again a guy who would show up in my Villain Mission Force games most definitely. Mandrill possesses superhuman strength, enabling him to lift press approximately 1.4 tons. He also possesses the chemically based ability to attract and enslave most adult women to his will, which is kind of sort of a weird and problematic power, but character is from another era, I guess. First appearance, Shauna the She-Devil, number 4. Very cool. Mandroid armor. This is a great shot here from the X-Men. I believe when they were fighting them, they were under the in the service of Moses Magnum. He had dudes in Mandroid armor. Very cool. Interesting drawing of Manhattan here. We can see the haunt of many of Marvel's finest and deadliest villains, Manhattan. Manslaughter, a sort of a weird Defenders character from the later part of their run. Let's see. Manslaughter possesses limited telepathic powers, which enable him to read the activity of the autonomic nervous systems of other people. He can use this ability to influence the peripheral vision and subliminal hearing of other people. Thus, he can effectively make himself invisible unless he is seen straight on. What a specific and bizarre power, but visually he's kind of a neat-looking character. Weird name. Man-Thing, the tragic Ted Sallis character. He's 7 feet tall, approximately 500 pounds, and he can lift press at least 1,000 pounds. They kind of underrate his strength in this, I feel, although they don't really specifically state it. And they have Man-Thing Swamp, which is in southern Florida, at the nexus of all realities, another cool drawing. Mantis, she's back in her corporeal form after being sort of this weird celestial Madonna ghost for many years in Marvel continuity. She's a superhuman martial artist. Marina, great Alpha Flight character. This is excellent John Byrne artwork here. And we get all Byrne action panels as well. And she gets a 3-page entry, which is pretty amazing for really such a minor character when you think about it. But I guess she became a flame of the Submariner, so she rates that. Love this from her origin in Alpha Flight number 1, really cool. Or maybe number 2, it might have been number 2, I think. We get an awesome Jackson Geist Marvel Girl here. Not super big on that costume, but I do love the pose, the hair, everything else about it's really cool. And then we get some Jackson Geist Bob Layton action panels, a little bit of Byrne, some Kirby. This is after her miraculous return from the dead, originally devised by Kurt Busiek in a letter to Marvel and implemented by John Byrne, I think mainly to stick Chris Claremont, but who knows? It was an interesting story anyway. No one's ever truly dead in the Marvel Universe. That's proof of that. Massachusetts Academy, home of the Hellions. Again, if you're running an RPG, this stuff is gold. We have Master from Power Pack. He is miscolored in this panel here. Skin should not be green. We have the Master, Alpha Flight's Dr. Doom, basically. Their main villain. Known superhuman powers, none. However, the Master is virtually immortal. That's a power. Anyway, pretty cool. Mastermind, that's definitely Paul Smith right there. Master Order, one of those cool cosmic entities the Marvel Universe has so many of. Master Pandemonium, an interesting West Coast Avengers villain, with a really weird origin, devilish origin. Kind of an interesting costume. And that star we see here on his torso is actually a hole in his body where the demons come out of, which is crazy. Masters of Evil, who draws these heads? Budiansky or Kevin Maguire? Let me take a look. Kevin Maguire. Nice, and this one goes on for a couple of pages. Yeah, here we go. The rest of them, that's totally awesome. Great figure work or face work here by Kevin Maguire. I love that titania. So much personality in each face. You can just see it oozing off the page. It's really cool. Maximus in one of his many costumes. Who gives us this artwork? It's really nice. Tom Palmer, very cool. You can see that old X-Men Neil Adams vibe in this particular figure here from Tom Palmer. Really cool. And I think we do get some Neil Adams right there. More Neil Adams there. Yeah. Maximus the Mad. Mayhem, real name Bridget O'Reilly. First appearance as O'Reilly, Cloak and Dagger Volume 1, Number 1, as Mayhem, Cloak and Dagger Volume 2, Number 5. Mayhem exudes a green, venomous gas from her pores that tends to surround her. If this gas enters another person's bloodstream, it will paralyze the person for an unknown amount of time. Hence, Mayhem attacks people by raking their skin with her talon-like fingernails. Oh, okay. She's a sort of a creepy character. I think that's Brett Blevins, I'm pretty sure. And we get a lovely John Byrne Medusa here. We have a mistake on this page, though, as her name is cut off. Usually her name should be in larger font above the entry, so there's a little mistake there. Very cool. We get a lot of cool Medusa action scenes here. Almost all Kirby, except for this one. It looks like it might be Neil Adams. There. And let's see. She has all these powers associated with her superhuman hair. Altogether, she can lift about 3,200 pounds or 1.6 tons with her hair. Mentallo, one of my favorite sort of mid-tier Marvel villains. Kind of a cool non-mutant telepath, I guess. Yeah. Marvin Flum, one of the great villain names, real names in Marvel. Marvin Flum, off-time partner of the Fixer and Mentallo. Mentor, one of the Eternals of Titan. He can lift press approximately 1 ton under optimal conditions. And he has vast energy-wielding powers. We get some cool Jim Starlin here. Mephisto, one of the many manifestations of the devil or of just evil in the Marvel Universe. This is, I think, that's a John Buscema Mephisto. Let me just make sure, though. Yes, and of course, since all of these figures are inked by Joe Rubinstein, we get to see Joe Rubinstein inking John Buscema, and it's kind of nice. I don't remember seeing that a lot in comics. I don't know that they were paired that often. If someone knows of a regular pairing of John Buscema and Joe Rubinstein, let me know. Put it in the comments. Very cool, though. Great Marvel villain. He's been behind so many cool stories. Merlin. This is great figure work here, and I'm not sure who it is. Let me take a look. Brian Boland. Why am I not surprised? That's absolutely awesome. What you'd expect no less from Brian Boland. Great action shot by Paul Neary here of Cap and Captain Britain and the manifestation of Merlin in the sky in this panel with a cool color. Nice. Ensorceling Thor. That's a great Byrne panel right there from Captain Britain's origin, I believe. Mesmero, great X-Men villain. That looks like a Byrne figure right there. Yeah. Hair green, skin green. First appearance, X-Men 49. He is a villain who has been around a long time. Mirage, a.k.a. Danielle Denny Moonstar, one of the New Mutants. We get some cool action panels here. She's 5'6", 105 pounds. Oh, we get to see her in her role as a Valkyrie with her winged horse. Mr. Fantastic. That looks like Jerry Ordway right there. Let me double check on that one. Yep, Jerry Ordway. This would have been about the time Byrne was leaving Marvel, and Jerry Ordway, I think, took over for a short time after, for a short stint on the title. So very cool. Lots of Byrne action panels. Mr. Fear, a visually cool character, but just sort of a dumb villain with a gun. You take his gun away, he's got nothing. Mr. Hyde, one of my favorite Marvel, really cool Marvel villain, a very unbalanced, dangerous, and scary foe. Mr. Hyde possesses superhuman strength, and able to lift press approximately 50 tons. Real name, Calvin Zabo. He has a host of other regenerative and resistance-related powers in addition to his super strength. So, very cool. We have Mockingbird, Hawkeye's wife at the time, I believe. Nice cutaway of her battle staves and how they work. I like her with the shorter hair too, but I like long hair as well. It's very nice. Oh, I love this Modred piece. Who did this? Stan Walk. Very cool. Love Modred as a character. I thought it would have been great after the whole Darkhold debacle if he sort of came back from his childlike state that he was left in and was used as the kind of energy wielder or spellcaster in a new team. It would have been neat to see that. But this is a great entry on Modred here. Very cool. Mojo by the immortal Art Adams. Gorgeous. I really think Art is the one who can really draw him. I mean, everyone else kind of pales in comparison since it's just his character. Very cool. Silvestri does a nice Mojo too. Mojo is best in small doses, I feel. And we have a Mole Man from John Byrne. Excellent. Got a little ant crawling there. Let's get him off the page. And the Mole Man's first appearance, I believe, is very early in Fantastic. Yep, Fantastic Four #1, one of Marvel's oldest supervillains. Let's see here. Unusual features. The Mole Man is short in stature, overweight, and extremely nearsighted. His posture is very poor, and his unusually large nose gives him a grotesque, almost mole-like appearance. And let's read one other dimension, Appendix Other Dimensions. Let's read here. Let's see. Flat World. Oh, we have ants crawling about here. Environment Earth-like, but with flattened terrain. Usual means of access, vibrational attunement. Dominant life form, huge stomping beasts. Comments: this world is inhabited by gigantic creatures that have, over the eons, stomped the terrain level. First appearance, Fantastic Four 57. And there you have it. The official handbook of the Marvel Universe, Volume 8. Please like and subscribe. Tell your friends if you enjoyed this episode, and comment below about other things you'd like me to read through on the show. And I will bring you more soon on Scott Reads Comics. Thanks for watching.